Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball history through card breaks and the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. Today we're opening this pack of 1993 Topps. This would be right in my wheelhouse era. I am sure that as a 7-year-old kid, I ripped packs of this exact set of cards. This was my first full year as a baseball fan, and I was taking in everything I could. So these are my guys. This is my era. The big card to be aware of in this set is Derek Jeter's rookie card. There's a few different variations of it, so we'll see what we get with this pack of 1993 Topps and see what kind of nostalgia we can drum up. As you can see, at this point, Topps had stopped putting chewing gum in the cards, in the packs of cards, and that's better probably for the cards long term. The first card is Bernard Gilkey, at this point with the Cardinals. I think of him a lot with the Mets. He did also spend some time with the Red Sox. Bernard Gilkey famously is in the movie Men in Black. He is playing outfield for the Mets, and he watches the UFO fly by, the one that ends up crashing into the globe structure from the World's Fair outside of Shea Stadium. But it is actually him, and he is actually in the movie, which is very funny. They could have gotten kind of anybody to be in that, and they decided to have Bernard Gilkey do it. But good outfielder for a lot of years. Had a good career. The next player is a Hall of Famer, Gary Carter. And it's great to see a nice Hall of Famer in this pack. Expos at this point, years with the Expos, years with the Mets. It looks like he went back to the Expos near the end of his career. Just a consummate leader, consummate professional, a well-deserving Hall of Famer. Unfortunately, we lost Gary Carter too young, but just a spectacular person and a spectacular talent. Looks like he's got a play at the plate there with a fellow recent Hall of Famer, Fred McGriff, who I believe at this point was with the Padres. Gary Carter was a special leader. When he broke in with the Expos, he brought a different energy and level of play to them that they had not had in their history prior to his arrival. And then, of course, he ends up going on to the Mets and is a legend there, and is a huge, the backbone, the leader of the '86 Mets World Championship team. So, and again, very deserving later as a Hall of Famer. And again, unfortunately, rest in peace to the great Gary Carter. We lost him too soon. But we remember his incredible talent, his incredible leadership. The next player is another Hall of Famer in Larry Walker. This is the next card in the pack, is Larry Walker. Also at this point with the Expos. It is just kind of amazing to think about what was sort of lost with the Expos through the years, the number of really great players that they had that they just kind of let go, whether it was through trade or letting walk in free agency. Larry Walker ends up making most of his career, and people really think of him with his years with the Colorado Rockies, and the incredible power numbers, the power years, the batting titles, and again, much deserving. He was a great right fielder too, a much deserving Hall of Famer, even though it took him quite a few tries to get in. Eventually he did get in. A special hitter and a special personality too. Somebody that I just love. I love to think about. I loved watching him play. He was one of the few guys that had a great series against the Red Sox in the '04 World Series when he was sort of at the end of his career with the Cardinals. He was such a force in that series. But Larry Walker, another great player. Okay, so the next player is another Hall of Famer. How about this, guys? This is 3 Hall of Famers in a row in this pack. This is John Smoltz, and this would be the prime John Smoltz era. Him, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. You saw on a previous video, the last 89 Upper Deck video, that I pulled his rookie card out of that pack. I will let you know that card right now is on its way to PSA. So that will be part of my group of Hall of Fame rookie cards. I shared a bunch of them with you previous videos. If you watched some of the other of this era as well, and there'll be a few other Hall of Fame rookie cards that I sent in that PSA ordering. You will see the grades come back in real time along with me. But John Smoltz at this point is the ace of the staff. He had the incredible experience in the '91 World Series with the Braves and the run that they went on, and he is him, Maddox, Glavine, again, that's the team of the '90s. That is the group of the '90s, and Smoltz is a huge part of it, of course. And Cy Young winner himself, a superb postseason performer, possibly the best of his generation in terms of his ability to perform in the postseason. I'm not just talking about '91. He always delivered in the big games, almost. With very few exceptions in his career, his long career with the Braves, part of the 14 consecutive division titles, and but anyway, spectacular pitcher. We spent a lot of time on these three guys, so we got a bunch more cards to get through. So let's move quickly. Doug DeCenzo with the Cubs. This is not really a great era with the Cubs, so we're not going to spend too much time on him. So every there's a Topps gold card in every pack. People do like to collect the gold cards from this era. That is one thing that I know about. This is the gold card, and this is Tim Scott, so pitcher with the Padres, who has some renown. Mike Pagliarulo is the Twins. He is a Massachusetts guy, and if I look at the back of the card here, he was born in Medford and lived in Winchester. In May, he may continue to reside there. I'm not totally positive, but one of the really good. Again, just so people know, I'm from Boston. I live in the Boston area. I'm from New Hampshire originally, but it's always fun to see guys that I'm aware of their background locally here in the Boston area. And Mike Pagliarulo was one of them. Played for years with the Yankees, more sort of a backup, sort of utility infielder type, but definitely a name from the past. Here's another sort of name from the past that I remember a bit, which is Tom Pagnozzi, kind of a backup catcher type with the Cardinals. This would be a good era for the Cardinals. They still have Ozzie Smith at this point, and the sort of Vince Coleman, I think, had already moved on, but there were some good players still in that group. And then Joe Torre was the manager for a long time there, and then he ends up moving on to the Yankees. Here is. Sorry, the cards do tend to stick together a little bit after 30 years in the pack. Paul Ossenmacher, lefty pitcher. I think, is he mostly a bullpen guy? Yeah, he was mostly a reliever. Definitely someone who I have a bunch of his cards from through the years. So good player, a good pitcher. Next is Candy Maldonado, who I think I pulled a card of his in a recent pack as well. He was a kind of a backup outfielder type on these Blue Jays teams. So the Blue Jays win the World Series in '92 and '93. They have a lot of stars on those teams. They have Joe Carter, they have John Olerud. They went out and got Paul Molitor and Dave Winfield and Ricky Henderson, and they had great pitchers with Jimmy Key and Juan Guzman, but then there were other guys who were sort of role players that played a big role in the winning of those World Series titles. Pat Borders was a really good catcher. He wasn't a superstar, but he was a solid catcher. Kelly Gruber, Ed Sprague, and Candy Maldonado was one of those guys too, as just sort of a backup, maybe not a special, super flashy player, but just somebody that helped contribute to win. All right, next is a star, not a Hall of Famer, but a star, Will Clark, one of the greats, one of the great hitters, one of the great tremendous first baseman, sweet swing, just one of the most beautiful, sweet left-handed swings you will ever see. And just spent so many years as an outstanding hitter, mostly in the National League, pretty much all in the National League Giants. Actually, I should say that he spent quite a few years also with the Rangers, and I think he also went to the Orioles and finished up with the Cardinals. But Will Clark was MVP one of those years in the 80s. It was also a Rookie of the Year. It was a fan favorite. Everyone really liked Will Clark, and everybody wanted to imitate his swing. They wanted to have that same sweet swing as him. So there's Will Clark. One of the great players of the era. There's Tim Burke. I don't really know a lot about Tim, and we're going to kind of move quickly through these next few cards. I just found a card that I'm going to talk about last, and despite having three Hall of Famers here, There's going to be a card that I have last that will be the card that I leave up at the end. But anyway, there's Tim Burke. This is not a good era for the Yankees, but they're about to go into a really good one. Here is Jeff Parrott, sorry. I got the animal name wrong there. Apologies to him. Then here's Will Cordero, who was a very good hitter. Spent some time with the Red Sox. There's definitely subject to controversy as well. If people want to look that up, they're welcome to. Will Cordero was a good hitter, but there's other things involving him that people should check out. Okay, so one last card here, and it's this one. Tim Wakefield. This might be Tim's rookie card or one of his first cards. He had been a star on the 92 Pirates that came oh so close to getting to the World Series. And he ends up not, the Pirates end up, losing in heartbreaking fashion the 7th game to the Braves. And then Tim Wakefield struggles a little bit. He ends up going to the minors. The Red Sox take a chance on him in 1995 after the strike ends. And he, from the get-go, was a critical member. He was a critical member of the Red Sox, not just the team, but the Red Sox family, the Red Sox community, for almost the next 3 decades. And he did everything that was asked of him. He never complained, at least publicly. Again, knuckleball pitcher. He had rubber arm. He pitched until he was, I think, almost 45. He closed, he started, he did long relief. He gave up his start in the ALCS in 2004 to save the bullpen, which is what helped the Red Sox come back in that series. He wins the ring in 2004. 2007, he gives up his roster spot. He's not performing as well. The Red Sox win that World Series too. He stayed with the team on a series of sort of one-year options. 2011 was his last year. He stayed within the Red Sox organization. He was a commentator on NESN. He did a tremendous amount of work with the Red Sox Foundation. He was a critical part of that. He was critical in what's called the Run to Home Base program, which is an incredible cause that helps veterans. And this year in 2023, shocking news that came out about him having brain cancer. And shortly thereafter, on the very last day of the 2023 season, Tim Wakefield passed away. And it's been, as a Red Sox fan, it's been a very hard thing to deal with. But there's so many great memories of him. Tim Wakefield was a special person, really somebody that nobody really ever has anything bad to say about him. He was an incredible part of Boston, of the community. He ended up, he married a woman who was a local, and he stayed, and he was part of that. And I still haven't, it's been a couple months since his passing. I still haven't quite wrapped my head around the fact that he's gone. He's such a huge part of my life as a Red Sox fan for, like I said, almost 3 decades. But we have amazing memories of him, and we will hold those memories dear and think of the great things that he did. That's Tim Wakefield, and he is the last card that we're going to talk about in this pack of 1993 tops. Rest in peace to the great Tim Wakefield. You are missed, and you will continue to be missed. So hard to segue out of that, but that is going to do it for this edition of Wax Pack Wisdom. Tell us what you thought of this break. What's your favorite card we pulled today? Do you have a story about one of the players in this pack? Leave us a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the description of this video, you can find links where you can follow Wax Pack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.